Lenina. Status, beta.
When the individual feels, the community reels.
Character, Bernard. Status, alpha.
The mockery made him feel an outsider, and feeling an outsider, he behaved like one, which increased the prejudice against him and intensified the contempt and hostility aroused by his physical defects, which in turn increased his sense of being alien and alone. A chronic fear of being slighted made him avoid his equals, made him stand where his inferiors were concerned, subconsciously and on his dignity.
Character, John. Status, savage.
But I don't want comfort. I want God. I want poetry. I want real danger. I want freedom. I want goodness. I want sin.
Character, Helmholtz. Status, alpha.
Why was that old fellow such a marvelous propaganda technician? Because he had so many insane, excruciating things to get excited about. You've got to be hurt and upset. Otherwise, you can't think of the really good, penetrating X-ray-ish phrases. No, it won't do. We need some other kind of madness and violence. But what? What? Where can one find it? I don't know.
A Brave New World concludes with the hysteria of an emotional climax. John the Savage, who was initially overjoyed by the advancement of modern society, comes to understand it was just as barbaric and uncivilized as it perceived him. In desperation to detach himself from undesired swarms of media which John views as the pinnacle for its society, he seeks refuge in a desolate lighthouse, yet the crowd succeed in discovering him, enraging John to the point of violent retaliation. John flees frantically as the piece progresses. John is soon discovered swaying limp, having committed suicide, succumbed to the society of the New World.
It was a frenzy. There were so many people who had come to see the truth of the papers. However, they were met with a suicide, something unheard of. First arriving was Director Mond, encouraging everyone to line up for soma rations. Like the brainwashed people they were, they obeyed his request, all but one. Lenina cautiously approached the director, being careful to avoid the many Delta-minus workers distributing the soma throughout the crowd.
Director Mond, John's body. What is to become of John's body?
Oh, yes, I will see to it that the body is taken care of.
The director hurriedly moves away from the stunned Lenina, sauntering over to two Epsilon semi-morons. After a quick word with the director, the two men venture into the lighthouse. Curiously, Lenina makes the rash decision to follow them, but before she is able to see what they are doing, she is cut off by a Delta-minus worker, aggressively pushing the ration of soma on her.
No, not right now. I don't want it. Please, I said no.
Lenina was beginning to create quite a disruption amongst the pleasantly numb crowd. They didn't understand what Lenina was doing. They didn't understand the emotions she was feeling. They didn't understand emotions at all.
John, what in the name of Ford are you doing? How dare you?
The two Epsilon semi-morons had returned, unceremoniously dragging John's body behind them.
We are just doing what we have been told. Please, ma'am, back up.
No, you animals. Do you have no respect? No humanity? Pick him up. Is there no shred of compassion in you?
Three Delta-minus workers rushed forward, pressing soma rations on her, but again, she refused.
Get away from me. John was right. He was right about all of you. You made him into what you wanted him to be. You made him into a savage. In truth, we are the savages, not him.
Quickly, four Gamma-minus workers rushed forward towards Lenina, neatly spraying the soma gas. The sudden blast unsteadied her and made her fall to the ground, bewildered and dazed. Through the surrounding mist, she heard slow, measured footfalls on the trembling ground. She looked up through heavy lids, grasping at her one wish to stay conscious. Through the haze, she saw the director peering down at her, a mixed expression of satisfaction and pity plaguing his face.
I don't understand.
Dear Lenina, I am sorry it had to be this way. But don't you see? Civilization has absolutely no need of nobility or heroism. These are symptoms of political inefficiency. In a properly organized society like ours, nobody has any opportunities for being noble or heroic. The world's stable now. People are happy. They get what they want. and they never want what they can't get. They're well off, they're safe, they're never ill, they're not afraid of death. They're blissfully ignorant of passion in old age. They've played with no mothers or fathers. They've got no wives, children, or lovers to feel strongly about. If anything goes wrong, there's someone.
Feeling pretty sight. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.